why Malaysian stores and local anime figure stores are able to import 18 plus figures but not yourself. Hi and welcome back to the channel. I'm Steven from Courier Studio, and today's video is specifically for Malaysians on how to collect your anime figures or any purchase you made overseas from the customs department if your parcel ends up being stuck over there because you need to pay taxes. And this video is for you, and you may be watching this channel for the first time because this is the statistics of my channel. My content is actually tailored for overseas audience rather than Malaysian audience, even though I'm a Malaysian. So Malaysians make up less than 6% of my audience. I tend to make content for Americans and so on. But anyways, I have received so many questions on what do I do if my purchase gets stuck at the customs. How do I collect it? What are the steps and so on? This video is for you today. So I have a parcel right here that I collected from the customs from Hobby Link Japan, anime waifu again, but I won't be unboxing this until in the middle or late March, so there's some time to go. And on top of here, I have brought up some documents that I've collected over time. All of these are tax documents, right? So the first one here, this is DHL, and yes, I pay big money for DHL sometimes because I want to get my stuff fast as a content creator. Tax document for DHL. This is from UPS, not very common, but some proxy services, they use UPS if you are willing to pay for that. And these two are the most common. This is from Post Malaysia or Post Laju, tax documents again. So I'm going to tell you guys about my experience on collecting stuff from the customs according to each courier that I have experienced before, and we begin with the most obvious one, Post Malaysia and Post Laju, our national courier. So if you are checking the tracking results of a parcel, you might come across this sentence, held by customs or ditahan kastam. When you see a parcel being held by customs, yes, it is game over. You have two options, and that is to collect it from the customs themselves, drive all the way to their office, or number two, you pay a Post Laju agent to collect it for you. And this is how you do it. So when you see the tracking result, right, you can straight away go to the customs department. As long as you have your tracking number, you will be able to claim your parcel and pay the taxes. Or the second method is that you wait for a letter from the customs department themselves, and this is a picture of what the letter looks like. They have already collected the letter from me after I brought it over there. This letter, they call it notice tahanan, or a notice of your parcel. A notice of a parcel being held by the customs together with the tracking number and all of the personal details over there. After you receive this letter, you bring this letter to the customs department in person, and you can also claim your parcel that way. And at the bottom of this letter, you will see this section which you do not have to fill in at all if you chose to visit the customs yourself. But there is also the option to fill in the second one over there, to tick the second one, where you are choosing to go for a Post Laju agent, where somebody at Post Laju will be collecting the parcel for you and helping you to pay the taxes and deliver the parcel to your doorstep. That is also an option, but you have to pay for service charge, which is 48 Malaysian ringgit before SST. Including the taxes, including the SST, that would be closer to 53 Malaysian ringgit. So on top of the taxes, the 10% tax for the case of anime figures, you need to pay an additional 53 ringgit or so for each parcel. Right, each shipment or each parcel. If you have 3 parcels, that's 3 times the amount. So my recommendation is to combine ship items. If you're buying multiple figures, multiple models, whatever it is, combine ship them into one single parcel so that you get the most out of this service charge over here. Regardless of how big or how small a parcel is, 53 ringgit roughly for each parcel for the service charge. So if you go for DHL, right, DHL, you are willing to pay for the expensive shipping, then you don't even need to visit the customs department. They will often send you an SMS onto your phone, and there's a link in the message where they're telling you to go to their website using your tracking number and to pay for the taxes online itself. So this is very convenient. If you are willing to pay more for DHL and also FedEx or UPS in some cases, then more than often you are able to settle your taxes online. You don't have to drive all the way to the customs department, but you're paying more for that. For example, you bought something that cost 600 ringgit with DHL, that is including shipping, so your taxes are 60 ringgit, but you will be paying maybe 110, 115 ringgit when you go to their website to pay taxes, because the additional 50 plus is for the service charge of the DHL agent, which helps you to collect the parcel and deliver it to your doorstep. It is the same thing as paying the Post Laju service agent to help you collect the parcel. So if you do not want to pay this extra 50 plus ringgit of service charge, then you never choose DHL or FedEx or any of the third-party couriers. You always choose Cell or Air Small Packets or EMS for shipping, which is being handled by Post Laju. So when you receive a letter or you see the tracking results, you go to customs yourself and pay the taxes. You save that 50 plus ringgit. Unfortunately, I do not have any experience with FedEx, so I can't give any advice over there, but I would imagine that they are competing with DHL. So their services should be very similar. Everything should be online. You would receive a message via SMS or via WhatsApp. So keep an eye on your phone. And as for UPS, not very common in Malaysia. Well, they have the option of collecting taxes from you at your doorstep itself. They will drive all the way to your doorstep, deliver the parcel to you, and on the spot, you can make your payment for the taxes and the service charge using a QR code, and you can pay it with a banking app or your e-wallet app. So you pay on the spot during delivery with the case of UPS, which is very nice. But UPS is a very expensive shipping method. And obviously the biggest question we have over here is, what about 18 plus anime figures? Will it get confiscated? The answer is yes. Don't even try to buy any 18 plus anime figures from Japan using anything that is being handled by Post Malaysia, including Cell, Sea Freight, Air Small Packet, EMS. You are like 99% confirmed to get busted. Even if the box design is very low profile, there is no weird pictures on the box of the anime figure, guess what? The customs are not stupid. They are aware that some figures, their clothes can be taken off. And if you went to the customs department to collect your own figure on the spot, you want to avoid the 50% service charge, they will tell you to open the parcel on the spot. They want to see the content, and if the box is like very low profile, no pictures at all, they will ask you to open the figure box on the spot, all the way to the inside. That is my experience over here in Penang's customs department, obviously. So if they look at the figure and they suspect it is customable, they want you to prove to them that it is not customable. And I know that this is like an invasion of privacy, but in Malaysia, our government does not respect our privacy. I mean, look at what happened to my digital ID. They are forcing everyone to use it. And we all know that our own private information is on the dark web being sold to scammers, right? The government does not care. So unfortunately, that is the case in Malaysia. And sometimes if they are suspecting that you are under declaring the price of your figures, which the Japanese will never do because they need to follow the law, they will ask you to bring an invoice, right? And sometimes even if you show them an invoice of a purchase on a smartphone, or even if you brought a physical printed invoice, they will still ask you to show them your PayPal transaction or even a credit card statement. And yes, this is a violation of privacy, but they will still demand you to show it to them. And if you don't, they won't give you the parcel. Simple as that. Yeah, that is the sad part. So to Americans and everyone else outside Malaysia watching this is the kind of problem we are facing here in Malaysia. If you want 18 plus anime figures, my recommendation is to pre-order it from local stores, our local Malaysian hobby stores, and let them handle the risk of importing them so that you don't lose money in case they get confiscated. And yes, if you were to ask me why Malaysian stores and local anime figure stores are able to import 18 plus figures but not yourself, there is some kind of permit involved for traders, for business people, where if they apply and pay for the permit, it is like the rules that apply to us do not apply to them, which sounds kind of unfair, and I've no idea how this works, right? I've no idea. But this is what I heard. They have a permit on the business side of things, And they are not going to tell you how they import them because that is obviously a trade secret. They need to protect their business. When you read the news on anime figures in a store being confiscated by police or by the customs department, that is because a member of the public reported the store. It is often a report that was being made because there is a leakage of information or they displayed the figures openly in public and people were not happy. So that is all you need to know about these local stores in Malaysia. And what if you wanted to import 18 plus anime figures into this country on your own? Rule number 1, never import it from Japan. Regardless of whether it is Ami or any other Japanese website, never import it from Japan. You need to import it from China. AliExpress or any other website you can think of. And I will spare the details. I won't teach you how to do it because the customs department themselves might be watching this video. So if you want to know how to do it, maybe DM me, right? Ask me in person on social media. And I'll give you a few pointers on how to import them safely. So what are the kinds of figures that are safe or unsafe to import into this country? Well, believe it or not, freeing 1x4 scale bunny girl figures, big boba bunny girls, they are actually allowed unless it is customable. For example, a high school DXD staff, you can remove the chest and the oppa is visible. That is illegal. You cannot import it officially, even though they are widely sold by figure stores in Malaysia, obviously. So, for example, a figure like this one you cannot remove the clothes. This is all you get. But the customs might be finding faults with you. They might be trying to confiscate it, claiming that this is too hot and sexy. But as long the clothes are not removable, you can import them. So I have it, no problems over here. And how do they determine? How do they determine whether a figure is too sexy or not? The answer is how big the opai is, how big the boob sell. Believe it or not, because they know nothing about anime or game characters, they base their decision off the size of their opai. So if you buy a bunny girl figure but the chest is kind of small, most likely you won't have any issues. But for this, you might come across issues where a customs officer will try to pick fights with you and try to confiscate it. Unless you prove it to them that the figure's clothes cannot be taken off, which means you need to unbox the figure right in front of them at the customs department, which is ridiculous, I know. And then, believe it or not, this is not removable, the clothes, but this figure over here, the clothes are removable. 100%, you can strip her completely. Yet, this figure is likely to pass through the customs very easily because her chest is flat. So that is the thing with our customs department. And once again, this is also partially dependent on your luck. Sometimes the customs are not in the mood. They just want to let everything pass. Then you have a lucky day. If that day the customs feel like starting a drama, then you better hope that your figures are safe for work in a way. Yes. So I hope that this video answers most of your questions. I'm sure that there are some questions you still want to ask down in the comments below. So please do ask them. And if I missed out on anything, yeah, just sound them off in the comments below and I will try my best to answer to your questions. So to me, the problem is not about taxes. You want money, I'll give you money, right? I'll pay the taxes, no problems, but let me have my anime figures. Seriously, I'm not doing any harm to the public. I'm collecting them in private. Yeah, so we have customs department playing moral police. That is the case in this country. And until then, I hope that this video is helpful and informative to you. If it is, please do give it a like and subscribe to this channel if you love anime figures. And until then, thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.